Hi. Hi, can you hear me? Hello.
Hello, Pinaki. Hello, how
Yeah.
are you?
Hi, I'm good. Can you hear me?
I'm very well, thank you.
Okay.
I sent you the email
Yes, yes,
related
yes.
with.
I have read your story more than a month ago when magic truly happens, and I liked it. I remembered. I read it like around the 8th March, so more than a
Yes,
month ago.
I,
Yes.
I had given you the story, you had
Yes,
read
yes.
it, and
Yes,
you
yes, I
told
have
me
it.
it was a good story, yes.
Yes, yes. I have it. I have read it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. So, you have read the story,
Yes, yes. And you
you
also
know,
mentioned that you gave reference of Mirror Mirror by Julia Roberts, and you like that film. You want something like that.
I just would like to discuss related with how you are going to apply your expertise on the specific format of the adaptation, meaning a fantasy story, a fairy tale fantasy, has to be somewhat impressive in the screenplay, somewhat accurate. Space time is rather more indefinite, and you do not and you should not recreate too much on your own,
Right,
but just
right. I have a
apply.
question. Like, who are your target viewers? Like, what age group? Is it the children or teenagers or young adults? Who are your target age group? Whom should I?
The age of the target audience is, wait a minute, I think it's above 9 years old.
Above 9 years old. Till
Above 9 years old. Nevertheless, this can play a little bit. You can say 11, you can say 10, you can say 12, 9 to 10 years old
okay,
for all ages, for all ages,
okay,
above 9 years old.
okay. Got it, got it. That was one question I had.
This is the first matter related with the story. Now,
Yes.
you had told me in your emails you're going to do a few extra expansions here and there.
Yes.
When you say expansions to the story, are you going to alter it a lot? You should not change
Yeah,
it that
because
much.
the story is 17 pages, so to make it a 30 minutes film, it needs a little expansion.
25 minutes film.
Yeah, it'll be a 25 minutes film. The story is around 17 pages. Maybe we have to add something here and there, but I'll try to stick to the original story as much as possible.
Okay, okay. So let's get to the basic stuff of the screenplay assignment.
Hmm.
The screenplay assignment has dialogue and scenic instructions.
Yes,
Scenic instructions
yes,
and
yes, yes.
dialogue.
The
The
screenplay will have,
dialogue,
yeah, it will have descriptions, it will have actions, it will have dialogues, everything. It will be complete and ready to shoot.
you should you should mind not to just apply your knowledge with scenic actions and dialogue, but you have to have a narrator's voice.
Yes, yes. In some places
Narrator's
we need
voice.
a narrator. Yes,
Because if we do not have a narrator's voice, much of the story should be omitted because
yes,
there
yes,
is
yes,
narrative description and you have to create a narrator.
yes. There'll be a narrator.
Furthermore, you have to consider that when you write, you have to somewhat unify pure narration with the format of the screenplay. This means that some scenes may be feasible to write them in a narrative form. Some others you have to put dialogue.
Yeah,
You have
basically in screenwriting, we are told to use minimal narration, means minimum of narration, because uh, narrative part is visually not good. So we have to use narration maybe 3 or 4 times in the entire film, not more than that. If we overuse
Wait a minute.
yeah.
Wait a minute. Are you referring to the general art of screenwriting or to the specific story?
Yeah, in general, in screenwriting, we are told to use a narrative, yeah, narration, not more than 3 or 4 times in the entire film. So,
Wait, I have a little objection on that
okay.
because because I have read 3 or 4 screenplays such as La La Land, The
La
Great
La Land.
Gatsby, Great Expectations, and so much. And there are 2 types of screenplays as far as the general audience is concerned. There is the type of the screenplay related with The Great Gatsby, for example, which is complete dialogue and narration is minimal, whereas there are some other scripts such as La La Land, whereas the narration is interchanged with dialogue, meaning in La La Land there is unification of literature with screenwriting, unification of the literature rules with the screenwriting rules, because the director has to add the screenwriter has to add complexity to the script.
Okay.
If you find in the script scenes that have complexity, scenes that you have to describe scenically,
Okay.
and you just have to add dialogue later on, then narration is suggested at the specific place.
Okay.
Because this there are, as I said before, there are 2 kinds of screenplays: screenplays who have narration and they're very successful, and screenplays who do not have many narrative elements. I do not know in the specific art of your adaptation what should work better, and I leave this up to you. Having read the story, do you believe there are complex scenes where you have to enrich the story with complicated narration, or do you believe you will follow a pattern with minimal scenic instructions and too much dialogue? If you have minimal scenic instructions, since this is a short story, it may not reach the 25 pages limit. But if some expansions, if your expansions, of course, you cannot have expansions, that many expansions in dialogue, you will have expansions in the scenic instructions. If you believe you should have such expansions, then maybe narration is suggested.
Okay. Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
So, mind the scenic instructions, mind the fact that space-time is vague in fantasy literature. Of course, there are a few descriptions in the book, but the space-time is rather vague.
Yeah.
This means you have the opportunity to mime my space-time and add a few extra details on your own.
Okay.
Nevertheless,
Sure.
I believe, and this is not something to consider it as something absolute, the fact that the fact that you should not create something completely new with your adaptation.
No, it will be 95% yours. It will be 95% your story and maybe 5% my additions.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is good. This is good. So, what are your main ideas of how to start writing the story? How you should be, what kind of guidelines and rules will you follow to start writing the script?
Basically, I read the story more than a month ago. I know want to read it once again. Once we start the work, I'll read it once again, and maybe I'll have another discussion with you after I start.
Okay, so I will give you a brief summary right now related with the story.
Yeah.
The story begins with little Jennifer.
Yes.
Little Jennifer is 11 to 12 years old. She is the best student in school. Nevertheless, she is rather hurried to use power and act like adults.
Right.
So then she meets Jack the elf, who has come from another world, a world where a magical mirror judges everyone, and she wants to fix Jennifer's flaw related with hurried adulthood. So they're being magically shifted into a fantasy realm known as Flux, and they're having experiences over there to forge Jennifer's character. They have actually 3 tests.
Yes.
3 tests that are about in the magical universe to test Jennifer, test Jennifer's character. Jennifer in the fantasy universes meets the 7 dwarfs. They're being they visit Snow White's castle and they discuss with Snow White and the 7 dwarfs.
Right.
And the main stakes of the story is that the main stakes of the story is the fact that the magical mirror judges everyone, and so far it is stated that Snow White is the most beautiful queen because there is this quote, mirror, mirror in the wall, who's the fairest of them all? And the magical mirror in the classical fairy tale of Brother Grimm's says Snow White is the fairest, or says the evil witch, or I don't know what. But right now, it is of paramount importance that the magical mirror changes the diagnosis.
Yep.
Says after the tests of that Jennifer passes and after the forging of Jennifer's character, it's forced to make a different statement.
Right.
And say Jennifer is the fairest, and Jennifer becomes the queen of looks.
Right.
This is a few key points related with the story. Of course, there are 3 tests related with Jennifer.
Right.
3, how can I say that? 3, yes, 3.
Yeah, I get
Okay,
you.
3 tests.
Yes, 3 tests.
3 tests.
Yeah.
You have to. The 3 tests are crucial to be portrayed cynically good.
Yeah.
Because in these 3 tests there are a few animations and a few descriptions that it would be delightful if they could be portrayed with advanced narration. For example, temptations are coming, or Jennifer is lost in the woods, or the fact that Jennifer has to activate the green stone.
Right.
It would be wonderful if you could expand the space-time and the scenic instructions of these narrations, so to make the three tests more attractive.
Got it. Shall do so.
Again,
thank you for narrating the story once again. That helped to remember the story.
So I had given you 6 elements in our emails related with the genre of the story, the narrator's voice.
Right.
You have to mind that the fact that this is a fairy tale fantasy, you have to make it impressive.
Yes.
And this has to do with the genre. You have to follow the plot, of course. This means, as I understand your words based on what you have told me, that the majority of expansions will be scenic expansions, not plot and not dialogue expansions.
No.
Scenic expansions.
Correct.
Okay, regarding the plot. In terms of these scenic expansions, then I believe you have to consider the fact that narration is good, because scenic expansions and complex space-time cannot be portrayed in dialogue.
Right.
It has to be you have to
In
somewhat unify
use some
the
narration.
canons of literature with the canons of screenwriting. Accurate characters,
Right.
and the setting of the story. You have read the story, you know the setting.
Yes, I know.
What else should we consider before another recording of discussing the story? Do you have any ideas related with your expansions and where specifically you should invest your time and effort to write expansions?
Basically, I think
Any clues of what you will start expanding and what not to expand?
that I'll let you know once I start the work. I'll go through the story once again. I think what I'll do is, after we start the work, after I have started, I'll first send you a one pager. One pager is the flow of events, like the pointers, like a list of bullet points, ki how I plan to flow the script, like the main milestones of the story. Like it will be a one page or 1.5 pages, where you can see the entire film in bullet points. Okay, so that will give you an idea how the story is going to flow in the screenplay format, because when we convert from a story or a book to a screenplay, the timelines may change, because I'll follow a three-act structure. So in the three-act structure, sometimes timelines may some events may be changed in the timelines. Like there is one way of storytelling which is called the linear storytelling, where we start with the first event and we end with the last event. That is called linear storytelling. There is another way of storytelling that is called non-linear storytelling, where
Yes.
we jump from present to flashback. So once I give you the one pager, you can see how the story is going to flow. So after you have got that, maybe we can do another call like this, and we can discuss further in at that stage.
Let me ask you something related with the interim deliveries.
Yeah.
I had read in your emails the fact that you deliver in 7 times the 50% of the delivery, and I suppose that
What I said is that I deliver once in 7 days, which means a weekly delivery. Okay, so I'll be delivering once every week, and at 50% stage, you will get a delivery.
okay.
Yeah.
What I just wanted to ask is that you will keep writing, you will deliver to me the first part of the story, and then I have 14 days to come up with approval or what to change or what not to change.
Yeah.
But I believe that you do not wait for my own 14 days to start writing the second part. You deliver the first part.
Yeah, I'll tell you, after I have submitted 50%, because you will be paying an advance of 50%. So I'll start the work, and after I have delivered you 50%, I'll be waiting for your approval. Once you give the approval and once you make the second payment, then I'll move to the second half.
So you do not move to the second part immediately. You wait for
Approval.
approval.
Yes, yes. And if you want changes, I'll make those
Okay.
changes.
Okay, if you have any more ideas related with how are you going to make the adaptation,
Yeah,
I would be
as I
glad
said, that
to hear them.
once I start the work, it will be much better, because I'll be going through it once again, and I'll be doing a planning. I'll be sending you a list of the event flow. So at that stage, maybe it will be a better idea to discuss all these details.
Okay. I will be waiting then for your word. I
Okay.
suppose your Word document will include any kind of structural changes
Yes,
you are
yes,
going to apply to the script.
yes,
Mind the fact that you have to have a little bit of narration,
yes,
because
yes, I understand.
yes, we discussed about it.
Yeah.
And I will be waiting for your Word document.
Yes.
To come up with specific and detailed analysis of the story.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
So once
Then
I start the work, then I'll be sending you that. And so after this call, what I'll do is, what is your preferred way of payment? I mean, should I share my bank details, or do you want to pay through PayPal?
I will pay with bank transfer.
Bank
Since you have, I will pay with bank transfer. Since you
bank
have
transfer. Okay.
given me your
Your bank details.
Swift code,
Yes,
you
yes.
see the deposit immediately.
Okay, great. So once it comes to my account, I'll start the work and I'll be sending you the brief outline.
Wait, are you going to deliver to me the Word document first and
No,
then make
no,
the payment?
no, you make the payment, then the work starts. Then I'll be start working on the project.
You'll start working on the project, and right afterwards, you are going to deliver to me the document with the bullets.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is that I mean, the next thing to do is like you make the deposit, and once the deposit is in my account, then the work has officially started. So once the work has started, I'll be first sending you the bullet points. This is the first thing I'll do, and then maybe we'll have another discussion, and then I'll start expanding the screenplay.
Okay, okay. So,
Yeah.
so I suppose now you are waiting for my payment.
Yes, after this call, the next thing to do.
50% of the amount of money. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
And after this call, you will start working. You will deliver to me as a first step the Word document with the bullets. We will discuss, and you will continue with the work.
Yes, yes.
So then I believe the 15 days you had set in your documents are rather dispersed. How can I say this word? The 15 days of limit of completion of the screenplay are somewhat scattered in between discussions and approvals and Word documents.
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay, okay.
So like if you give an approval in 1 day, then I can complete in 15 days. Like suppose I submit you the 50%, say 7 days later, I submit you 50%. Then if you give me an approval within 1 day, then I can complete within 15 days.
Okay, okay. I do not believe I need 14 days to come up with approval because the story is small. There is a short story. It's a short story. It's a small story, and I do not believe I will need 14 days of reading your script to come up with approvals or to what to change or what not to change. I believe we could run it faster.
Yes, yes, absolutely, we will.
Okay, so if you do not have anything else to add?
No, I don't have anything to ask as of now.
Okay, okay. It was a nice conversation.
Yes, yes, absolutely. It was
I will continue with the payment, and I will be waiting for your words and files and the start of the work.
Okay, yeah. Thank you so much.
Record this meeting right now?
Yes, I have recorded.
Okay.
I'll mail you. I'll mail it to you.
Okay, as an MP4 file.
Yes.
As an MP4. Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much for your time.
Have a great time,
Yeah,
Pinaki.
you too. Yeah, bye bye.
Bye, yeah, bye.
Bye, bye.